Come and dream with me.
Hello and welcome to this What Do You Want to Watch discussion about the 94th Academy Awards. A show we'll probably remember for a while. I'm your host, Ashley Hobley. Joining me today, Dylan Blight.
I'm just gonna put it out here right now. I'm gonna miss when I kind of just like when Oscars are just discussions for people who care about them and not. Yeah. Anyway, what a weird show.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to kick it off with the moment, or do you want to talk about the show overall? Do you get the talk about that out of the way first, or?
I feel like, well, my thoughts on it is this, right? I feel like it's kind of bullshit that moment overshadows and will overshadow like
Everything,
all the good things. Yeah, I don't know. So like, but that's what everyone's going to be talking about. But it just sort of annoys me. You know what I mean?
Yes. So I guess if you don't know, and this is the thing you decided to listen to, and not read anything else about the Academy Awards, hoping to learn who all the winners were here. Chris Rock was presenting Best Documentary, was making some jokes about fellow black people, made a joke with, well, I guess not all black people, he was made jokes about Denzel. Then he joked about Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz. Then he made a joke about Will Smith. And then he made his joke about Jada Smith off the cuff, very much seemed like it was unscripted. Making fun of her hair, with the greater context that we have. We don't know whether Chris knew or not, but she has alopecia, which is why she has a shaved head. Will Smith did not take kindly. Well, yeah, she didn't take kindly to it. Will Smith appears to be laughing at first, and then moments later, he walks up. Will Smith walks up on stage and slaps Chris Rock across the face. Before sitting back down.
His brain just took like 5 seconds too long to process what he just heard, yeah.
Yes, then he proceeded to walk back to his seat, scream, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth," twice, which drew oohs from the Oscars crowd, which is impressive, because, you know, that's a Hollywood crowd, they've seen it all. I mean, they don't even laugh at funny jokes. I mean, it was a weird moment. Like, how did you find out? Because you obviously watched the show later.
Twitter clip, news story popping up on my watch, like, because my watch usually only pushes, like, you know, things that are popping off, you know, like
important stuff.
Russia's invading Ukraine, like, you know, like, you know, and it's like pops up as I'm at work, and it's like Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. I'm like, right, what's best picture though? Like,
well, that's a funny gag.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was a bit based off the headline, but this is my thoughts. This is the thing. And everyone who has access to Twitter is currently like either tweeting out their opinion because they think it's actually worth something, or some hot takes trying to get some laughs. I'm already over it. Like, and it's been couple hours really. 6 hours probably since it was over as we're recording this. I'm already over it. I'm like, so I hope to God it's over by tomorrow.
No, it
fucking,
won't be.
It's driving me up the wall.
That slap meme is going to be going around for the until they find something else to make fun of.
Because I don't know, like, it annoys me that in general it takes away, like, it then sort of takes away from the winners of the Revolution. What's the Revolution?
Summer of the Soul, or When the Revolution Was Televised.
I was going to say, how do you say the full title? So it takes away from them, like, kind of ruins their moment.
I don't. You obviously watched it later. I was watching it on 7+, which I'll get into a second.
They still, right? So in the replay, it's still completely, their speech is gone.
Yeah. It looks like whatever editing they did in the American version, like to cut out, like, because it was edited some way, like at least bleeped out or whatever, it seems to have messed up the Australian copy.
So now their entire speech is gone. Apart from like the first 20 seconds where it was sort of getting emotional, and I'm like, well, that's kind of shit. But my whole thoughts on like, and this is the thing, right? Everyone's got, I've seen so many different versions taken on this. Like you got people throwing around, so all the keywords I've seen are, you've got toxic masculinity, you've got variations of like controlling husband, like doesn't need to speak for his wife, whatever you call that, which I guess is toxic masculinity. You've got, what else is everyone chucking around? Obviously people like saying Chris Rock shouldn't have said it because he's like being ableist and he's like picking on someone with a like a disease, whatever else, I don't know. You've also got, I've seen some different somewhat interesting stuff I've been reading by black writers about how a bunch of white people commenting on this can just shut the fuck up, which I'm like, fair. Like there's just so many different, and everyone feels like they have the hottest take because we are recording a podcast. I mean, to be fair, we would have recorded this either way, so I don't feel like it's like we're forcefully trying to make content off it. But Chris Rock deserved it. I don't think Will Smith should have done it, if that makes sense.
No, he should have been more professional.
Yeah, I feel like, and that's not just
it's not like he wouldn't have had an opportunity to
I feel like in my
let
mind,
the public know that Chris Rock made pretty hurtful comments. Yeah,
I feel like the best way, honestly, and the way that would have like been great would have been if he had just said something in his speech to throw Chris Rock completely under the bus, that had got like a good cheer, or something about that not being okay. Yeah. And it would have tied into what his speech was anyway, because that's the thing. Like, you can tell he's obviously very upset, and we'll come back to that, I guess, when we get to the winners and stuff. But in his speech, he's talking about, wanting to spread love and all this sort of stuff. So even if he hadn't have done it, like, he could have tied in and like spread love, not hate. Like punch up in your jokes, don't punch down, because the Chris Rock joke is punching down. Like, yes. That's it. Like, the joke is rooted in the fact that she's bald because of a disease that makes people lose hair, and she's struggled with it for years, and she only recently, I think maybe only within the last year or two, started like publicly sort of talking more about it and stuff like that. So, look, I think Chris Rock deserved it, and I think that Will Smith gave him less. I mean, he slapped him. He gave him a light tap across the face, really. He didn't punch him. Probably deserved to be punched. I mean, to be honest, but like, I don't think he should have done it, if that makes, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's where I sort of fall. But I also like completely are open, and like I'm sick of reading about it, but it's been everywhere, so I've had to see everyone's different takes on it, and I think some are wild and some others. I think the wildest stuff I've been seeing that the stuff that sort of has been pissed me off is all the, like, there was that story going around like, oh, the Academy may ask for Will Smith's award back. Why? Because he slapped someone. Like, and, people rightfully bring up the fact that the Academy's given awards to, Woody Allen and fucking Roman Polanski and all these other people, like literally giving an award to Roman Polanski, who they were like, oh, he can't be here tonight. Yeah, because he can't come to the country because he's accused of fucking date raping a fucking underage person. Like, like everyone's like, this is the worst moment in Academy history. It's like, it's not even fucking close, let alone all the Harvey Weinstein awards and whatever the fuck else the Academy's done. Like, it's not even close. Like, and the thing is, like everyone's like calling for his head, like Will Smith's head. You see, they're the takes that have been sort of annoying me the most. I'm like, I don't feel like he should be celebrated for slapping someone on stage, but at the same time, I think the best tweets I've seen about it is people being like, look, life isn't always black and white, like, and that's sort of where I am with this, where I'm like, I think he deserved it. I don't think it's on. I think it's a terrible joke by Chris Rock. I think Chris Rock deserved some comeuppance. I don't think going up on stage and slapping someone in any scenario is going to be the best course of action. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't know if he deserved to be slapped. I mean, like, I don't think we don't condone any kind of physical violence at all. So, but yeah, it really played weird. Again, the 7+ thing, it was broadcasting like an hour late on the app. I don't know if on live TV, or at least here in Brisbane, whether like it would have been playing live, but I could only watch it on the app.
I opened the app on my lunch and opened Twitter, and it was live for me.
It's because of fucking daylight savings. Daylight savings ruining things again. I assume that's what it is because it was.
Yeah, because I was live for the 30 minutes I was watching on my lunch break.
I assume that's what it was because the app shit and daylight savings is terrible. But yeah, so I was scrolling Twitter while I was watching it, and then I see all these tweets about, I can't believe that happened. Was that really real? And there's also images of Will Smith. And yeah, it was really weird. He just didn't seem like he was himself. Like whether, maybe he had a couple too many drinks or something. It seemed like he was smirking to himself. He was walking away and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't want to theorize about that too much.
That man and his family have cop shit for years. They've been the brunt of many comedians' jokes, many people's jokes. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, this is the thing where I always do when it's celebrities. It's like people are happy to make fun of celebrities because they're celebrities and they can take it. But I mean, like, he's got made fun of for years. Their relationship got made fun of years because people, because of the whole. I mean, I don't want to get into him and Jay's relationship. Like, if someone's that's their fucking business. Like, people judging them on that, and like, if Will Smith's comfortable in their relationship and they're happy, then that's their fucking business. People have been making fun of Jada, and what the fuck's the kid? Whatever the one. I can't remember all the kids' names because I don't really care. Like, that's the thing. You know what I mean? But the fact is that, you know what I mean? Like,
the one who was in Karate Kid and the other one.
Yeah, what is Jada and whatever?
Is it Jaden?
Jaden, yes.
Jaden and Willow, I want to say.
Willow, yes, yeah. Willow. Yeah, her last album was pretty good. I listened to that, actually.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in general, the whole family's just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is one of the things where I'm like, people are like, he's like off kilter. It's like, man, he's been made fun of. I don't know. Like, he's been made fun of. Maybe he's like just had enough. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to see it. Everyone, that's the thing that sort of annoys me is like as much as I like talking about movies and stuff, and sometimes you sort of can't help but talk about people's real life stuff, like when they're like accused of rape or something, and that affects the art.
Well, for the most part, I try and,
yeah, but for the most part, I'm like, people's personal lives, like, just
let
don't like really. Yeah, I don't all this fucking theorizing about people and yeah, like for the like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's a
people
weird
saying he's ruined his career. I'm like, I really don't think
I don't think so. We've seen how Hollywood works. They were clapping him at the end, so
honestly, everyone's saying for him to apologize. I don't think he should say shit unless Chris Rock apologizes, in my personal opinion. Like, people reckon he should have apologized to Chris in his speech. He apologized to the Academy. I think that's fair. Chris Rock didn't apologize for what he said. So, and people are using the whole, it's a joke defense.
I'm sure we'll hear more about this in the next 24 hours, like once they fall out of night's sleep. And
look, if the Academy tries to take that award away, that's...
there's no chance they're going to do that.
That's the end of it for me.
As much as I would like Andrew Garfield to get the award, I don't think so.
I'm done. Like, if they take the award for that, I'm done. Like, I will not watch the Academy Awards anymore.
Yeah. All right. How did we feel about the show overall? Obviously, they made a lot of changes. Made a lot of announcements about different presenters and people who were going to be there. It was going to be a nice, slim, cut-down show. They moved 8 categories into the pre-show so they could edit it all down. It still ran 22 minutes longer than last year's show.
With less awards.
With less awards on stage. What did you think of the show overall?
It was the worst in years. It was the worst one I can remember of recent memory. And that's even taking out the Will Smith thing. Like, I'm not counting that in my, obviously, overall sort of... Like, taking that out, I still think it was one of the worst I can remember. So they remove awards for a bunch of bullshit segments that I don't really give two shits about, and weird bits and songs that... Like, why didn't Kano get, like, 2 songs or whatever the fuck happened there? Like... Like, there's just so many things I kept being like, why? Why is this a thing? Why is this taking up time? What, that whole, we're going to do the fan voted award? What a waste of every second that was mentioned and brought up and shown clips of and whatever else. Like, just, and then for it to run longer, just so, because again, the whole reason, and until someone tells me for sure that there's this isn't the truth, but the whole reason they took the awards out is because they're trying to appeal to a younger audience and, you know, get new viewers in, and they're trying to make this hipper, cooler show or as much as you can for the Academy Awards, and they take awards out so they can do this off of bits. But then the show fucking sucks, and I can guarantee that the numbers won't be up and they won't have reached the audience that they so care to.
I think they'll be up from last year, but they won't be
sure
anywhere near.
because it's live. Because so more people probably tuned in than last year, where they're like, I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah,
it's
where
like
nobody saw any
COVID
of the movies because none of the movies were out.
Yeah. So I guarantee, I would say the numbers will be up, but they're not going to be up over like the several years prior to when they've been dwindling. It's like, just look, accept that the Academy Awards just isn't something that a lot of people may care to watch as they did years ago. And again, just accept that. But yeah, overall the show was pretty shit. I mean, all the, like, no offense to, it's not like I super dislike any of the three hosts, but all their bits sucked. The weird, like, sort of male sexual fantasy stuff that ran through out of it, I thought was a odd double standard throughout the entire show. And that was really weird to watch. In fact, because I was watching a recap, I sort of at one stage was like, this is weird, and I just like fast forwarded through the bit where Regina was calling up all the dudes or whatever
for COVID tests.
For COVID tests. That was, I was like, nah, fuck this. So I like fast forwarded through that. I'm
Quotation
like,
fingers.
funny. Yeah. Amy Schumer in the crowd later just doing an awkward bit where she kicked Kirsten Stewart out. Kirsten Dunst. We'll get to Kirsten Stewart. Kirsten Dunst out of her seat and whatever else was going on there. Tried to get whoever to twerk. It's fucking just odd.
I don't think she was making anybody twerk.
I don't. She motioned to someone to twerk. I don't know. Fuck. I could be having
I think you're having a flashback to last year. Yeah.
I'm having like weird, but yeah. Overall, I'd say bad show. Not good at all. I preferred the last several years over this for sure.
Yeah, this was pretty bad across the board. Even from purely technical standpoints, there was like so many like delays between different things happening. It didn't seem like any of it was rehearsed properly. Like even the like voiceover people, like especially like they just did the top 5 fan voted movies of the year or whatever, and then they announced that they're going to show the top 5 fan voted movies after the break. It's like simple stuff like that. Like, how do you fuck that up? It just didn't flow. It just felt like it was way too long. All the jokey segments went way too long. The whole thing with Wanda Sykes going around the museum, that could have been a YouTube video promoting the show.
Yeah, I'm like, cool. Academy, I would love to go to that place, right? Seems fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a terrible bit to promote. To promote, you know, like that.
I get it. They've been pushing this for the last 20 years, trying to get the money to build it.
Get it made. Yeah. You know what else I really hated, before I forget? In Memoriam.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
I just remembered.
I mean, it was a choice to go with upbeat, joyous songs.
Yeah.
I understand the idea of wanting to celebrate these people, but when you've got a long history of it being a somber moment in a show, on top of it being a couple of segments after the slap,
it's like, look, this may seem like a weird like sort of thing, but like, you know, like say Anzac Day comes around at work, it's just sort of given everyone like has a moment of silence, right? If you're working that day or wherever you are. I feel like that's just a given in certain places. If you're at home, you can choose not to participate or do whatever you want. But I feel like in some places, schools, obviously, that sort of stuff. To me, it's the same. The Academy, the In Memoriam, it's like a moment of silence. And if you can choose to participate and not participate, but it's always been somber. It's meant to be sad, and you're just meant to shut the fuck up and watch it. And every now and then you'll hear someone cheer very loud for someone who was like very well loved and whatever, and that's fine. But yeah, this was I hated it. I was like, what the who directed this year's and wrote this year's? Like, get the hell out of here.
So the producer is Will Packer, who is most known for films that recently like Girls Trip, Ride Along, Think Like a Man. Those type of that it does make sense when you look at that.
Who's hosting?
Who's hosting and other stuff like that. It's. I mean, what a song choice. Like, if you're singing about when you die yourself, wanting to go to the heaven in the sky, during a memoriam segment, that was really weird. Even even Jamie Lee Curtis on stage with a dog talking about Betty White. That was very out of nowhere. Weird.
You know what else I did? They played Africa when Daniel Kaluuya came out, and I was like, odd choice.
I don't know. Why are you getting a different DJ every hour? One, you're showcasing it's been an hour, which it didn't feel like it was. It felt like it was a lot longer. So you realize this is taking forever. Two, you're using so much money buying all these different artists. Like, just pay one person. They'll give you a deal for going 3 hours.
It's true. It's probably true.
It's like, crazy. Host wise, I think, there were some good jokes scattered in there. I thought Amy Schumer did do a solid job when she finally came out after the moments. She's like,
her solo monologue was like 80% good, I feel.
When she came out and was like, I've been in that Spider-Man suit this whole time. This room feels like it's had a change in tone. That was quite an amusing little moment. But yeah, like her saying, Don't Look Up is nominated. Looks like Academy members don't look up reviews.
That was funny.
That was funny. But yeah, they were fine, but, again, they were kind of not used well throughout the show. It's like, it was just like one person here, one person there. It's like, you've got 3 hosts and they're barely interacting at all, so what's the point? All right, let's get to the actual winners of awards.
Yes.
So film editing went to Dune. Hair and makeup went to Eyes of Tammy Faye. Production design went to Dune. Sound went to Dune. Original score went to Dune, which is disappointing to hear. Apparently Hans Zimmer didn't even show up. He was asleep in his home back in England. Live action short went to The Long Goodbye, which apparently was produced by Riz Ahmed. We didn't know that when we went to our predictions.
We did not, but I knew when I saw a tweet saying Riz Ahmed was on stage and they didn't even bother showing it at the Oscars. I was like, oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Best animated short went to The Windshield Wiper, and best documentary short subject went to The Queen of Basketball. How did you feel about how they actually did end up presenting these awards? Because I think, again, it was pretty poor.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was smart the way they used them. It's like, bring you back in from the ad break. But it was very demeaning across the board.
Whiplash. Like, it's like coming in, they're like, oh, thank you very much, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, did I miss something? Like,
yeah.
Like,
they'll go, here's an award. Someone gives a tiny bit of a speech. Apparently certain people's bits were cut out and stuff. And then they show you a best picture montage. And then we get back to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't... that was bad. Pretty bad. Alright. Other awards. Best visual effects went to Dune. Best costume design went to Cruella. Will say I love Jenny Beavan. I believe she Australian? No, English. But she, of course, did Mad Max Fury Road a few years ago. Won the Academy Award for that, and like came out in the big jacket with the Mad Max symbols and that.
She was Australian. No,
it says English on Wikipedia, but
outrage.
Or maybe she's like lived in Australia for a long time. Maybe
honorary Australian.
Yeah, let's just claim her. Who cares? Close. She worked on Mad Max. She must be Australian. She gave a great speech. I really liked her and her explaining her whole outfit. And how much Cruella was a great project for her and that kind of stuff. That was really cool. Best cinematography went to Dune and Greg Fraser. An actual Australian, for sure. Nailed it this time. He gave a great speech. Best original song went to No Time to Die. How do we feel about the musical performances in the show? Other than... Okay, I'll just put it in here. They ruined... We Don't Talk About Bruno. Ruined it.
They ruined We Don't Talk About Bruno and played 2 Encanto songs for some reason.
Well, the other one was nominated.
I don't give a fuck. Don't play 2 songs from the same movie. Like...
what they should have done is they should have had...
They should have nominated We Don't Talk About Bruno instead of a fucking song.
That was the number 1 option, but number 2 option would have been open the show with this crappy remix version of We Don't Talk About Bruno, where you talk about how great the Oscars are. That would have been a great opening number, and then save your Beyonce music till towards the end. Because that looked very pre-recorded. That clearly wasn't live.
No, that was all pre-recorded.
You know, you could fit that in anywhere. You know,
Ad break.
You should have saved it till after Will Smith slapped.
Look, I appreciated the Williams sisters opening the show, and they obviously felt cool for them to, I'm sure, throw to Beyonce, and you could tell they were like glad to be like Beyonce. That was cool. The Beyonce bit was cool. It just felt like it was like it was the opening of the show, but then we still had to go for the opening
monologue
comedy bit after a bit. I was like, oh,
two monologues.
It's like we got 3 bits, I guess technically. Yeah, it just took like in the scheme of things. Like I was like this. I thought that was the opening, and then maybe it was going to do something, but now this is the opening. But then they're doing another opening, and then we're doing an award. Like, what are we doing anyway? But yeah, overall the songs were fine, I guess. Like, I just felt like, yeah, again, I don't know. Like, honestly, you know what? One thing the Game Awards does that I feel like, honestly, the Academy could nearly just do better is just take that idea what they do. Like, I feel like if you want to do that, just do like one massive mix of everything. You know?
I don't know.
To showcase all 5 Oscar-nominated songs, you mix them all together. Done.
I don't know if it's that simple.
I don't need 2 Encanto songs. One that's shit.
Whoa!
And one you've
Shut
ruined.
your mouth.
That
was
I
beautiful.
I enjoyed seeing Billy, I guess. But, like, I'm just kind of over that song, I guess. Like, it was fine, but I don't know. There was no like standout performance. It was whatever.
Yeah, so No Time to Die took out Best Original Song. Best Documentary Feature, of course, went to Summer of Soul, like we mentioned before. Best International Feature Film went to Drive My Car. Best Animated Feature...
Wait. These motherfuckers trying to cut off that director whose name I can't remember speaking.
He did pause for like several seconds between
the
segments.
For
I understand. No.
seconds.
I completely understand. For English is his first language, and they were trying desperately to cut stuff down.
Yeah, I'm glad he stood his ground. Good on you.
He probably did. Like, it's like, oh, they're playing.
He said like one sentence
set
and they're
up
playing the music.
emotional music for me. Like,
yeah, no. He said he goes. He says
think.
I got a little bit more, like or something like that. He says he puts his hand up. He's like just a little bit more. Yeah.
Nobody thanks just the actors who come to the room.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, it's like you thank the actors and then you have your personal. I feel like that's the one too. You know, sometimes people get up there, they do a speech about something they care about, then they thank the actors, and then they'll thank their like mom, dad, whoever. Sometimes people just get up there and skip the first part. But either way, come on, Academy, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
What's the next one?
Best Animated Feature Film went to Encanto.
This one pissed me off.
Like the winning or the whatever?
All of it. So firstly, Encanto shouldn't have won. Second, no, I mean the movie's good, but it shouldn't have won. Then secondly, no offense to those girls, like at the start, being like, oh, we're all playing Disney, but the whole weird spit about it's really odd to be like, oh, animated movies just for kids, blah 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 blah. 10 seconds later, it cuts to a clip of Flea. It's like,
yep.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like. And
yeah.
also, Mitchell's vs. Machines, family movie. Not a kid's movie. It's a family movie, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Like
that was pretty, tone deaf, or like, I don't know what the correct term to describe it is.
It literally was like the second movie in a montage, Flea. I'm like, oh yes, I too was a child who loved watching Flea about fucking immigration.
Big movie for kids. They all love it. The trials and tribulations of moving from Afghanistan to Russia.
This is the problem with the Oscars, though, and the reason Disney wins all the time is because they do just treat animated movies as kids. It's a kids category. Best kids movie. It's not best animated movie. It's best kids movie.
They're trying to get it in the voters' minds that it's a kids movie category.
Yeah, it's not that. It's best animated movie. This is why those years where...
Admittedly, like the majority of... A lot of the nominees are, yeah.
Yeah, but Disney obviously gets in a lot. But every other year where we're like, remember that? I can't remember what anime movie it was, but remember, was it the fucking Sound of My Voice, the whatever, whatever. It was like Boss Baby was nominated and some Disney
Yes.
thing, and it was like 3 nominees, and it was like, why isn't winning?
Any Japanese animated movie?
Anything out of Japanese winning out of Japan winning this category at the stage, like, you dumb motherfuckers. And that's why. It's because they treat it as a kids category. And tonight we finally found out for sure.
Yeah. So a lot of people, animation people on Twitter were like pretty pissed off with the.
Yeah, good.
So
Deserve to be.
Yeah, crazy. Especially when you consider one of the best shows of last year was Invincible, which is not a kid show.
No, rated R, I think.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, if they treat, this is the thing. There's still people like my parents and other people know who do treat like animation as a, not like, they don't treat it as just another form of storytelling. It's like animation's kids movies. Like an Academy, by doing this, just solely reinforces it by only ever highlighting Disney and films.
Would you think Arcane is a kids TV series?
No,
Yeah.
fuck no. It's very violent. It's dark. Thematically, it's like about drug abuse, family abuse, like psychosis. Like, no, not a kids thing at all. And that won an award.
Lots of awards, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Best adapted screenplay went to Coda, Sean Hayter. That was a nice moment. Best original screenplay went to Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. That was, in my opinion, a bit of surprise. Just because Belfast kind of fell off the conversation.
I'm surprised Coda won, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the one category where I feel like it potentially shouldn't have won, personally. Like, I'm fine with it winning everything else. And, like, it's not like I'm, like, going to be upset about it winning Best Adapted, but I feel like the screenplay was sort of, and not saying it's a bad screenplay, but I honestly feel like the screenplay is the weakest part of that film. Like, if I had to order them, I would say, the acting and the direction is sort of up there as the highlights. And then the screenplay is just like, it's fine. It's fine.
Yep. So best supporting actress went to Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. Yep. She gave a great speech.
She did give a great speech. Kicked off the sort of great speeches for the night.
Actually, this might be a good point to point it out here. I love the setup of the actual theater with like the tables at the front, because they allowed a camera to get like close, so they could do like a proper close up when they're giving their speeches, which was really prevalent here. I think even they did like a dolly shot in as they were talking.
It also made it look like from above elevated when in fact it wasn't, which was also good.
Yes. So well done, set and stage
Designers.
Like theater designers.
Good job, set designers. Good, bad job, directors, producers, and writers. That's true.
Accurate. Best supporting actor went to Troy Kotzer. Great moments. I loved Yoon Yu-jung, who was presenting, like really upset, like making jokes about how she was upset about mispronouncing other people mispronouncing her name, like I just did, and then having to say all these people's names, and how difficult it was. Him coming up on stage, her giving him the Oscar. He needs his hands to sign, obviously. So she's just holding the Oscar next to him, looking at him lovingly. I hope to one day be looked at by someone like that.
Yeah, I would say this is the highlight of the show. This 5 minutes. Thought he gave a wonderful speech. And I think that it was funny and said something and like was sort of everything you want out of a speech, I guess. And yeah, her staring at him was just wholesome. So yeah, I would say this is mine. This is the moment of the night for me personally.
Yeah, absolutely. Best actress went to Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Bullshit.
Obviously,
What?
I know you loved Kristen Stewart, but it definitely seemed like there was a popularist element to this.
I watched this movie in preparation, right? So I could come on here and talk shit if needed. she's running at 100 in a movie. I mean, everyone is in that movie. I feel like they're running at like 110% on acting scale, and I feel like her performance is good. But the reason it gets a lot of praise is simply because she's just doing that whole louder, like it's very loud performance. Be that the makeup and the way she talks, but in general, I mean, that movie was meh. And then her performance is good, but it's nowhere near as good as like several of the other nominees, namely Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them, but like I said, I feel like there was a populist element to it because I feel like she was the one who was doing a lot of campaigning. Obviously, she's been nominated a few times before and like missed out. And like I think she's just a very liked person within the Academy group. Like she was there at the start of the 4-hour, or well, I guess it ended up being 5-hour presentation, like making sure she was there for those below the line categories. So she, at least she, like in support of her makeup team and everything. I think things like that, like when you're picking between 5 people, you're more likely to probably put that person a little bit higher on your preferences. You know what I mean?
She also did that terrible Ava movie a couple years ago. So you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Did she ever apologize for working with Matthew Newton? Because he's a piece of shit. So,
I mean, if everybody apologized for every piece of shit they worked with, then that would be all we would be reporting on for like every single thing.
I'm just looking for more reasons to not be happy with it. So, yeah. I'm just worked up over these Oscars, I tell you.
I'm disappointed too because I would have loved to see Kristen Stewart accept that award in shorts. That would have been very cool. And loafers, apparently. She took her high heels off.
She took her high heels off, yeah. Love to see it.
Will Smith took Best Actor for King Richard. I feel like that speech was very much...
on the fly.
Yes. It was apparent from all reports, his publicist was coming in a lot between ad breaks. Like talking to him, maybe reworking things. But yeah, obviously he was a very high on emotion and like, obviously it was a crazy night. Like should have been the best night of his life, or at least just of his career, and was probably not.
I mean, it's tainted in our eyes, but for all we know, he has zero regrets. So like it's only tainted if he thinks it is, I guess, like technically. And I mean, look, the other thing is that speech. I think it was a very good speech. I think it's a very raw, powerful thing to see, not something that was sort of semi-thought up ahead of time. Like you could tell he's a man who's like sort of running on adrenaline and pain.
He's also given a lot of these speeches at this point.
Yeah, I know, but you could tell it was just raw. It was just real emotion. In a world where, you know, Hollywood's full of plastic and fakes, it was a man up there upset. And I mean, whatever your feelings were on what he just done, slapping bloody Chris Rock, like it was something to see someone raw emotion up there on stage. And you could tell it spoke to others in the stage, like people tearing up and crying and cheering for him. Someone saying, "We love you, Chris." His whole bit about Denzel Washington giving him, sorry, we love you, Will. Sorry, yeah, we don't love Chris. I'm thinking about that bit. By the way, shout out to 7 Now for that fucking. Everyone go look on my Twitter because I couldn't believe that shit when I saw that bloody 7.
No, I saw Nazy, the Twitch streamer. She posted up on about. She went to a binge and there's a Chris Rock and Will Smith collection as one of the lines. Yeah.
Fucking hell, these people are fast. Yeah, for people, follow me on Twitter. But if people haven't seen this, I go to watch 7 Now to watch the Academy Awards after I get home from work. But the first thing, Academy Awards, thumbnail images is the slap. That's followed by Everybody Loves Chris recommendation, followed by, I can't remember whatever the show is that Jada Pinkett Smith was. It was some Jada Pinkett Smith thing after the fact. So I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, I thought it was a good speech given everything. Well, I thought it was good. And yeah, it affected and touched some people there. The whole part about Denzel giving him that advice on the way up to the stage. Also, shout outs to Sean P. Diddy Combs, who, you know, he said that whole bit when he come out and was like, you know, like, we all family, we're going to talk about. I feel like, here's the thing. We're all sitting in our high little chairs, recording our podcasts or doing our little tweets, right? These people all know each other, and all I do is hope that they just talk like human beings after the fact and sort this shit out, because that's what I mean. Like,
Yep.
just let's all just chill. Like, let's not get too judgmental. I hope they can all work it out. I hope Chris can. I hope Chris can learn from this, and I hope that like, I'm not saying, I don't think anyone. We're trying to cancel everyone. We're not trying to cancel anyone. I'm just saying that, like, he deserved some comeuppance. I also think that it's not the end of the world. Like, he hasn't done anything that he can't learn from.
This isn't Dave Chappelle.
This isn't Dave Chappelle. He's not trying to, like, say trans people aren't fucking real people. He's not J.K. Rowling over it.
Here's my question. What was Sean Combs doing there?
Man, he loves the furry walls. You never seen that movie? Yeah. You ever seen that movie?
No.
No? Oh, man. For all the Get Him to the Greek fans, that was a good joke.
Yeah, sorry. But, I mean, he was there to present.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's an actor. He's in movies, Ash.
He was there to introduce the cast of The Godfather.
Yeah.
Of course, 50th anniversary, it's cool. One, Robert De Niro, not in The Godfather.
Yes, he is.
In the first
He's in
Godfather.
The Godfather Part 2.
Yes, not The Godfather, which is selling when he gets 50th anniversary.
Yeah, well, look, he plays a character whose original actor has passed. So he's there representing.
Okay, I'll accept that. They came out there, they said a little bit, and they walked off stage. Every other little reunion they had throughout the night,
no bit.
They presented.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You know
what?
It
just felt like, why are we doing this?
I don't know. Why?
They ran out of awards?
They were like,
If only we had more awards that we could present so they could present something.
You know what? Godfather is a big enough movie that I'll allow them a couple minutes to do like we're not presenting, we're just here to say, hey, how you going? I'm fine with that. Like a big enough movie like The Godfather, like seminal piece of cinema, like 100%.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola, one of the greatest directors of all time. Robert De Niro, one of the directors. Robert De Niro, one of the greatest actors of all time. Al Pacino, one of the greatest actors of all time. Like that's fine. These motherfuckers over here going, screenplay for fucking whatever that Elliot Page was in.
Juno?
What? Juno?
Fuck you. That's a great movie. That deserves.
It's a good movie. I don't need to hear about it on its 15th weird, whatever stupid number of anniversary it is. Like, fuck off.
At least it wasn't 35.
I don't need to hear about it, right? It ain't Jaws. It ain't The Godfather. It ain't motherfucking Pulp Fiction. That was a great bit, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I appreciate that bit. I mean, John Travolta's up there like, I sniffed some fucking Scientology bullshit before I came out here.
I bet.
But Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson were great.
I mean, what about the White Man Can't Jump reunion? I mean, that was
interesting. That was awkward. Don't know what was going on there. Yeah, that was weird.
High joke's funny.
But the Pulp Fiction one, that was good.
That was good. That one had it up. I'll also say I did like the Godfather montage. Why did they play such a modern song with that movie?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
That like and the James Bond theme, James Bond montage, not good. Also, why are all these, as everybody pointed out on Twitter, why are all these extreme sports people presenting this when you've got literally a bunch of people who are involved in the James Bond franchise sitting right there?
I'll tell you why. Try and draw in viewers.
Really? Do you think Tony Hawk, Shaun White, and Kelly Slater are drawing in the young peoples?
They're massive in the 50 to 60 crowd.
These people in like very niche sports.
Yeah. No,
we don't want to go for like mainstream sports. We don't want to go get massive, I don't know, NFL
Look, it could be worth. And here's
basketballers.
We
want to get these obscure sports, these tiny extreme sports with very smaller fan base.
Speak to the kids, Speak to the kids. That's what I'm saying. Could have been worse. Like, here's Logan Paul. Oh, guys, I love movies. I watch them all the time. Yay. Let me record a YouTube video real quick. Oh, I got to go to WrestleMania. Bye.
I'd be fine if Will Smith had
What, Will Smith's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going 2 for the night. Bam! I'm going to wait for the first one.
This makes up for it. All right. Not that anybody deserves to be violent.
No one would try to say he deserves to be arrested over that one. Everyone would be like, you know what?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right.
I feel bad because I just participated in making a joke, which I was complaining about people doing, and I want this all to end, but yeah.
No, but it wasn't about... Best Director, Jane Campion. First woman to win Best Director twice.
Yeah, good speech.
Good speech.
I enjoyed it.
written out.
Did you make any weird analogies to her
Played it
life
straight.
Yeah, played it straight. That was good.
Scripted.
Made it up for it.
And then Best Picture went to Coda, the little movie that could, powered over the top. Yeah, this has been interesting to see. It's going to be building for a little while, the reaction to this potentially winning, and now it actually winning. I think more than anything else, it's just the timing more than anything else. It's like, right now, people want a feel-good movie.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest. I feel like this movie, we watched this like 2 years ago. Like, does it feel like forever?
It would have maybe like 12 months almost.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago.
We'll also say this Oscar campaign season has been very long.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like last year's and this year's Oscars nearly blend together, but yeah, I mean, that's the weird thing I was saying. Like, obviously, it's cool it won. Like, obviously not my pick, but we really liked Coda.
Yep.
I believe we did a spoiler
Check
cast,
out the
right?
link to the spoiler cast below.
Yeah, I was about to say we did a spoiler cast, right? Yeah, so we did a spoiler cast. We talked about it a fair bit in the lead up. I think we talked about it when Apple picked it up originally.
Yeah, when they picked it up because it was a big winner at Sundance last year.
Yeah. So I just feel like we've been talking about this movie for a very long time for it to suddenly be like, and it's an Oscar winner. I'm like, we've been talking about this movie for ages. Like, but yeah, I mean, I great movie. I guess the number one complaint people have about it as a Best Picture winner is it's just like doesn't have like a unique standout thing. Like it's just too like paint by numbers or whatever, I guess is the complaint. But I'm like, it's not really paint by numbers. If you like, that's the thing. Like it is a sort of cookie cutter feel good movie, but you tell me another cookie cutter feel good movie or any other movie you've seen that focuses on coda or subject or has a massive movie on a massive streaming platform that's primarily starring deaf actors. Like, yeah, so that's the thing. I feel like people make all the complaints like, oh, this isn't like there's nothing unique about this movie. I'm like, but there is. Like, there's lots unique. I understand like the whole like, oh, it's just a feel good movie. Like, yeah, it's a feel good movie, but like it is definitely unique. So, shines the light on the thing is like it interestingly shines the light on a group or like a type, and that's I can't remember if we discussed this in the spoiler cast. We probably did, but yeah, I definitely feel like I remember watching it and being like, I have no idea that this was like it's one of those things where you watch a movie or you read about something and you're like, I never thought about that, like how it would be to be the only child in that sort of scenario, like how that would potentially affect you and all that sort of stuff. So like it is a very unique movie. So definitely well directed and the acting's fantastic, obviously, by everyone all around the cast. Definitely, it made it. Where was it in our list? I don't remember, but was it in our list somewhere?
Yeah, I want to say it was. It was number 9 on our top 10 list.
There you go. I mean, I didn't think it was like anywhere in the top because, but it was still, there you go. Shout out to Exposure Network's.
Admittedly, a lot of the ones above it were nominated the previous year, so.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works.
But also, I feel like we watched this 10 years ago. So, like, I don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
What's going on? And also, shout out, I like how they point out how Apple has been super supportive and made sure it's shown in heaps of places. Also, shout out to the fact that they did have this in select cinemas. It did get a film festival run, and then it went to streaming services.
Our spoiler cast came out August 17th.
August 17th. Last year?
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, a spoiler cast is nearly a year old.
No, it isn't. It's only March.
Nah,
it's only like 7 months.
Still feels old.
It does.
Because I remember whatever film festival, there was a film festival on prior to that, like a digital one, where I could have watched it, but I was like, nah, it's coming to Apple soon, so I'll just wait. And I watched some other things and reviewed those for the site instead, or whatever. And that was like a month before it came out or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like at a lot of film festivals because that was a digital only one. I don't remember which one that was, but
yeah, I'm trying to quickly. No, it's only listing Sundance. So yeah, but yeah, crazy. You got a feel for Netflix at this point, as well. Like 5 years in a row, it's like they've almost had Best Picture. only, and then just for Apple to swoop in, buy Coda at Sundance, and become the first streaming service to win Best Picture. Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. In the first, in a world where people say that, because all those Netflix movies get nominated but haven't managed to pick up anything, like, oh, they'll never give it to a streaming service. Well, proved wrong. Also, for all those people who thought Apple TV is going to go dead, definitely ain't now. It's now an Academy Award winning streaming service. So
Academy Award, Emmy Award winning.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
First streaming to get both.
That's the thing. Like for all these years, we're like, anytime someone asks me about Apple TV Plus, I go, great content, but they're very selective. They just produce high quality stuff that it's not Netflix. You don't subscribe to get access to hundreds of random shit. But this really sort of cements it when they're getting like Emmys and Academy Awards. It's like they're just focused, not the opposite of us.
Yeah.
They got less content, more quality. We've got more content, less quality.
All right. Anything else you want to discuss from the show? From the award show, yeah.
I don't think I can think of anything. I think we spent all the time.
I mean, yeah, for the most part, it was kind of... There were very few memorable moments.
No, that's the thing. It was either not memorable, memorable for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
And everyone will spend the rest of the time talking about, Will Smith.
Yeah. And I felt like the Ukraine thing was a bit weird.
I was utterly disappointed, to be honest. I was really disappointed. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Two things. A, the gay bit, right? Kind of over that. Just say something that actually means something at this stage. Like,
don't just say the word. It's like, actually.
Like, I understand the bit is like, it's the don't say gay bills. Everyone's doing this whole gay thing. Right. Cool story. It's a massive platform. I feel like missed opportunity to say something that's actually more meaningful rather than just doing that and getting loud cheers and applauses and pats on the back. Missed opportunity. And similarly, hugely missed opportunity to say anything about Ukraine. The only people I remember who said anything about it were actually everyone up on there for The Godfather. Am I right?
Yeah.
That was it. They said Viva la Ukraine. Viva la Ukraine?
No, Jessica Chastain was talking about like bills within America. But yeah, everybody kind of stayed very apolitical.
Bullshit.
I feel like that was probably a directive from the Oscars.
But that's bullshit, man. That's the
I feel like a lot of the speeches were very short.
Yeah.
Except for Will Smith, where they were not cutting.
It's not that I think people should go up there to talk about political stuff. I just feel like often you'll like actors, like I feel like if you like are tweeting about shit and you like want to be like, this don't say gay bill or the Ukraine thing's like horrible or whatever, and you can go ahead and win an Oscar,
or
like
8 categories being presented before the show.
Yeah, or if you're angry about that, like fucking put your money where your mouth is. Say something. Actually say something about any of these things.
All right.
Meaningful shit. I always love when someone gets up there who wins something and uses their time to talk about something that they care about, as well as thanking the people who helped make their movie. And not in a like checkboxy way, but I like when it feels genuine, like an actual genuine thing.
What does the Oscars need to do next year?
Fire whoever the fuck was involved with this
actually fan favorite moments? Like fucking hell, that went.
What the hell was that gibberish? What the fuck?
There was the cheer moments, which is like the best moments in movie history, which apparently is the Flash walking through time into the Zack Snyder cult, like full on took advantage of the situation.
Majority of people were like, we don't give a fuck about voting for this, and then all the Zack Snyder fans were like, well, we're going to work.
You're like, hey, what? Cinderella's got a
Johnny
chance?
Depp movie in there as well. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I've never even heard of this movie.
It barely got released. But the big Johnny Depp fans went to work.
Dude wins favorite movie of the year.
Yep. And just
so
hearing,
the Oscars, critics know nothing. Yeah, guess what? Yous all know nothing because there's no way in hell Army of the Dead deserves to win fucking Best Picture in any category.
What a scene to use for the so random. And then just hearing the silence of the audiences, as the montage finishes playing.
Lots of people there are like, I haven't watched this movie. What is this movie?
What is this?
Is this art?
Yes, so what does the Academy need to do next year? Scrap that.
Fire everyone else involved in this. Scrap the fan favorite bullshit. Go back to how it was a couple of years ago where it was boring and everyone just complained about it being boring. That's what I want. I want boring people giving boring speeches about thanking their loved ones and their partners and talking about how climate change is fucked and how don't say gay bill's fucked, whatever. I just want boring speeches after speech after speech after speech. That's what I want out of it. It's literally all I want. And it's what they try to take away from me. They're consistently going, but Dylan, what you want won't bring in new viewers. And I go, I know, but I'll be happy. Right? And get a good host, a good funny host who can make jokes punching up and not make weird bits. Like just get someone who's generally funny. Make fun of the movies, sure. Have a bit of laughs, like the whole they didn't look at the critics. That's fine. You know what I mean? But some other bits, no. Not these hosts, not these writers, not these producers, not this weird new thing they're trying. Go back to the way it was. Let's go back. All right, I'm sounding really old. Complain about it, but let's go back. I liked it how it was.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I would keep the set. That was the only thing that worked.
Yeah, set was cool. Keep the set designers. They can stay. They're allowed to stay.
Yeah, that worked. I think that those close-ups, that was a high point of the show. It's crazy. It's crazy that's that was the best thing about the show.
Yeah.
The camera work and the
Slim pickings,
Yeah. I think, we just need to lean the other way. You've got a lot of punching down, a lot of mean-spirited jokes. Let's get super wholesome. Let's get the cast and crew and writing team of Ted Lasso on board to write and produce the next Academy Award.
It's really weird because they keep talking about making it this event, celebrating one another and their peers and all this sort of stuff. But then the show's very
you guys don't deserve any of this.
Yeah, you all suck. You are all too rich. You don't do anything, which, even some of it may be true. But the fact is, they're setting it up as this whole...
We love you.
We love you. Fuck you.
I mean, I think that just says a lot about how people are raised.
Yeah.
Can't show the appreciation of love. But yeah, I think, be super wholesome and celebrate movies. I think one of my favorite things from last year was they'd have short snippets of people talking about the actual movies and what they loved about them. That's something I would like to see, especially for those montage segments that they do, for the best pictures. Just to have a super cut of some actors talking about how good the movie is and that kind of stuff. Give me a reason to care. And I think ABC just needs to cut their losses and accept that they're not going to make a ton of money off the Oscars anymore.
Just what? Look, yeah, just exactly. And honestly, cut NBC.
What? That makes no sense.
We'll do it on Twitch.
Yeah, just go to a streaming service.
Yeah. You have to worry about all the rules and then people viewer numbers.
Actually, one other weird thing was after Troy Kotzer won, they had Chris Pine. No, Chris Pine? Or was it... Which Chris... I can't remember which... Chris Evans. Congratulate him.
Yeah, introduced the Sonic bit.
Yeah, introduced the Lightyear trailer.
Congrats, Troy Costa, on all your win tonight and your body of work that Captain America has definitely watched. Check out this clip for
my new film, Lightyear. Yeah. I don't know if I want more of that or less of that.
I want way less of that. Get out of here.
If that's the thing that's going to bring people in, did they announce beforehand there was going to be a new Lightyear trailer? Would that have drawn audiences in?
People watch the Super Bowl for that, right? Super Bowl already ruined the event. People don't watch it. People watch it for football, people watch it for movie trailers. You know what I watch the Academy Awards for? Speeches. Recognition of good work.
All right. Speaking of good work, our Oscar predictions for this year. I'll keep it short and sweet. Dylan, you got 10 correct from this 2040 categories.
Smashed it.
Yeah, I got 14. So again, victorious, 5 years running. It did feel a little bit disingenuous and like a little bit sad when I was 3 up before the show had even started.
I was giving you a head start.
Shouldn't have. Yeah, so let us know what you thought of
Fucking Jessica. What a dumb name, you know what I mean? Like,
let us know what you thought of the Academy Awards. I'm just going to say, don't tweet us about the slap. We don't want to hear any more about it. We're moving on.
over it. Stop talking about it.
Yeah, tweet at us about everything except that at Explosion Pod on Twitter, or you can jump into our Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here or what do you want to watch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, or give us 5 stars. Anyway, you can give the show 5 stars and tell people about the show. And if you like this episode, thought us with it all, head on over to our cover page at explosion.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, keep watching stuff, I guess.